Welcome to the Rewired Self podcast, your guide to cultivating profound healing and lasting transformation of the mind, body, and spirit. I'm Krystal Rose, a subconscious and somatic reprogramming coach, hypnotherapist, and creator of the neurosomatic rewiring method. Every other week, you'll get a new topic, inspiring stories, and expert insights, plus the latest tools and practices to support your personal transformation. Guys, it is time to rewire the way you think, feel, and live so you can create the life you were meant to experience. Now, rewiring, that is a buzzword these days. And what exactly is it? You probably heard phrases like retrain your brain or heal your nervous system. And the T is lasting change isn't just about thinking differently or thinking positively. It's about transforming the programming running underneath your conscious awareness. Studies have shown that 95% of what we do, think, and say, and how we act and respond comes from the subconscious mind, and it's on autopilot. So if we want to have more insight into our thoughts, our emotions, our behaviors, we got to look inside the subconscious mind. Now, why is that important? Well, the subconscious mind holds our beliefs. Our core beliefs were created between the ages of 0 and 7 years old. And we'll talk more about that in other podcast episodes. But Dr. Joe Dispenza, he is not the creator of it. I can't remember who exactly it is, but Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about how our personality creates our reality. So our thoughts create our emotions create our actions, our behaviors, and over time, our patterns, which become our personality. So what creates our thoughts? Ultimately, it's in the subconscious mind, our beliefs. Those core beliefs, those hidden beliefs are actually running the show. They are actually creating the personality. So if you want to change your reality, you will need to change your personality. And if you want to change your personality, you got to look into the subconscious mind. So subconscious patterns that we have, the beliefs, are really formulated in childhood and reinforced over the years. You know, your mind's job is to prove you right. So if you create a belief, your mind's going to be looking to prove that belief right. And I love using the example that if you've ever personally bought a car or you've ever liked a car and you start thinking about that car, you start looking online or you start to see it everywhere, not just online. You start to see it everywhere around you. And you're like, oh my gosh, this red Corvette is just popping up everywhere. I never noticed before. It must be really popular. Those cars have always been there. It's just now you've told your mind to look for it. So your mind's always going to try to prove you're right, going to try to get your back. So if you have a belief, know that subconsciously your mind is actively looking for evidence. So that's actually pretty important, because if it's going to look for evidence and try to prove you right, you want to make sure your beliefs are beneficial, are serving, are healthy. So patterns and beliefs are very important. And a lot of those beliefs were created when we were kids. So basically a kid is running your life. Have you ever said to yourself, I know what I need to do, but I just can't seem to do it. I can't get myself to do it. I'm not motivated. Well, you are motivated, but the problem is that you have this belief in this new belief, and then you have your old beliefs. So if you ever said that to yourself, that you know what you need to do, but you can't seem to do it, that's a sign that your subconscious is working from outdated instructions. Your nervous system is working from outdated programming. What is mind-body rewiring? Again, that buzzword, rewiring. Well, mind-body rewiring is the process of identifying and changing the root cause of those outdated patterns. So it's not enough to just know that we have the outdated patterns. we kind of know, as adults, especially going to talk therapy, where we have some sort of self-awareness, we know what our patterns are. But why can't we change? I remember I became obsessed with self-development, I think when I was like mid 20s. So a little while ago, more than a decade ago. And I would learn such wonderful things, empowering affirmations, mindset shifts, reframing, all of these wonderful uh, things that we should be doing, but it wasn't sticking. And at a certain point, I did believe in them because I started teaching them as a coach. But then I was like, why can't I stop doing the patterns that I don't like doing, even though I know better? And it's really because those patterns, what created them in the first place, was not being addressed. So the root cause is what created those patterns in the first place. It's not just at the mental level, but also your body's stored response. Meaning, if I created anxiety as a way to protect myself, maybe it kept me from doing riskier things, that anxiety also shows up in my body, and it's stored in the body too. Physical trauma, emotional trauma, mental trauma, all of those are also stored in the body. So mindset work alone is not enough. Body work alone is not enough. Talk therapy, which is at a conscious level, is not enough. You really need like an integrative approach to transformation if you want it to be deep, real, and lasting. So I'll tell you 3 different things to keep in mind that you need to integrate when you are trying to transform yourself and when you're trying to rewire your mind and body. Number 1 is your subconscious programming. Again, the beliefs, identity, the mental scripts, the narratives that are going on in your programming. Next is the nervous system regulation. Your body needs to feel safe enough to create and sustain change. If it does not feel safe, it is not going to let in those new beliefs. So the nervous system is just as important as the subconscious work. And then lastly, embodying a practice. So new patterns aren't just going to be concepts. They're not just going to be these new like mantras and affirmations that are all talk and no action. You need to rewire at both the mind and body level. So when you are saying an affirmation, there's also going to be a physical aspect to it. And you're also going to be doing it in an environment where you do it when you don't need it and you do it when you do need it. So there's kind of reprogramming mind and body at the same time. And that way, your mind and body won't be fighting against the old programming when you try to do the new programming. Okay, so I shared with you that we need to know the subconscious part. We need to release somatically as well. That sounds like a lot of work, Krystal. It's probably what you're saying right now. So how do you actually do it, or how do you get started? Well, awareness is number 1. Awareness, not just mindfulness, but also awareness of the root cause. So let's say if I'm working with you, or you're working with another practitioner, or you're choosing to work on it with yourself, which you can, you want to uncover the original blueprint that created the pattern. So that would be the root cause. There's different ways to get to there. Often these roots are tied to early experiences and unresolved emotions. And quite frankly, just in my experience, having a guide to help you, or having like an NLP coach, a Carl Jung analyst, a hypnotherapist, a subconscious coach or therapist, rapid transformation therapist, which half of those I do. They're going to help guide you through your subconscious to get to it. The problem with doing it on our own, or just like at a conscious level, talking to maybe like a talk therapist, is that we tend to use logic a lot, and most likely those patterns weren't created at a logical state. We created beliefs and based off experiences, and we rationalized with a very young, inexperienced mind, maybe a scared mind. And so if we've tried to shift out of that mindset at a conscious level, we're not going to see what that younger version of us created and why it's so important. So I do recommend awareness, yes, is important. You can do so much work on your own with meditation and journaling and having specific journal prompts to help you, to guide you through the question, and with talk therapy. But to really help you uncover the root cause, a specialist may be needed to help you with that. The second thing is, once we uncover the belief, what do we do with it? Well, if we realize that it's no longer serving us, or maybe it's never served us, maybe it's always been harmful and we just didn't know, and we choose to let it go, then we can release it. Now, we can use tools like hypnosis, guided imagery, inner child work, shadow work to let go of the old programming. And those are all very powerful tools. The main thing is that you want to be consistent. In a session, you can usually get pretty powerful somatic and subconscious release of that, but we have to continue reinforcing after. And I'll explain that in another episode as we dive in a little bit deeper into rewiring. But step one is awareness. Step two is release. Step three is repattern. So we want to uninstall the beliefs that we don't want, and then install or upload the new supportive beliefs and blueprint that we want. One that your mind loves and wants to believe. And now that it's released, the things that were holding it back, it can believe it. But we also want to make sure that your body feels safe and trusted as well, and is also being patterned to match the new beliefs. And how do we do that? Well, we integrate. So we learn to anchor that blueprint in through daily practices, with integration coaching, with journaling, with somatic exercises like breath work, with EFT tapping, and with intentional self-talk. What I love about the neurosomatic rewiring method and just mind-body rewiring in general is it involves neuroscience and aspects of spirituality. And research has shown that both of them in tandem, they are connected to each other. So there's so many researchers out there who are really bridging the gap between science and spirituality. And I bring up spirituality. This isn't necessarily a spirituality podcast, but spirituality is a big thing. It is the practice that you have with yourself. It is the journey that you have with yourself. And it's connecting to source, a higher source, be that whatever you believe in and like. But the science that backs how powerful spirituality is in healing and just living your life and being happy is super important. So they both go hand in hand, mind, body, soul, or spirit. And that dynamic trio can really help to create trigger neuroplasticity, or the creation of neuroplasticity, creating new neural pathways, regulating the nervous system. And neuroscience has really proven that our mind and body are changeable, are moldable, meaning they can change at any stage of life. And I find a lot of peace in that. We're not stuck to a specific belief. We're not we're allowed to change. And I love that. I have changed so many times. And I plan on continuing to change because I'm actively and intentionally trying to release the things that don't serve me, gain new wisdom, gain new information, and rewire my mind, body, and entire life. So hopefully that brings you comfort with knowing that it can and you should change as your stages of life change. And with the right tools, you can rewire the pathways that determine how you think, feel, and respond to match and support the life stage that you're at. Now, mind-body rewiring. Is it for you? Do you need it? Do you want it? Mind-body rewiring is for you if you are stuck in loops of anxiety, self-sabotaging, overthinking, looping thoughts. And if you are a healer, if you are a high achiever, I usually tend to work with those two kind of categories: creators, CEOs, executives. You guys have success, or you guys have a lot of wisdom and knowledge and experience. However, when you are still stuck with anxiety or overthinking, it really takes a toll on you and can cause burnout, can cause you to self-sabotage. And those are all the things that I struggled with. So if you are stuck in these loops and you're high functioning, then you definitely want to look into rewiring the mind and body so that you can continue to be successful, but actually be at peace in your head and in your body. Mind-body rewiring is also for you if you've tried willpower or positive thinking and you find yourself sliding back into old habits. You feel like you think you've done the work, but you're still triggered in the same ways and just getting frustrated and still having a sense of, that there's something better, there's something you can do, but not sure what it is. Try mind-body rewiring. And if you want to expand into a newer version of yourself, but you're holding on to the old version of yourself for whatever reason, you want to, again, look into mind-body rewiring because you could definitely benefit from it. And I've seen this work to transform a variety of things in clients, whether it's confidence, relationships, health, self-love, addictions, and just getting to know who they are, calming the body, ending the cycles that come with anxiety, building self-trust. These are so essential to having a quality life, removing these limiting beliefs that we have around money, family, relationships, status. And not just because we want to become fixed because we think we're broken. We want to do these things because we want to give our mind and body a chance to And there's something that I really want to drive home is that we are not broken. We do not need to be fixed. We just need to return back to ourselves before the world at a very young age through a bunch of bullshit that was never ours. Projections of stemming from people who were either themselves were traumatized or just not supported. We came into this world full of hope and then just soaked in everybody else's shit. And so mind-body rewiring is helpful to not fix you, but to help you get back to who you are and help you to get to who you want to be. So I hope you found this introduction to mind-body rewiring helpful, and I'm very excited to have new episodes come out every week where the conversations are going to be with experts, either sharing their story or sharing their modality, talking about subconscious healing, different types of somatic therapy, the new biohacking tools that will help with rewiring the nervous system. We're going to dive into things like hypnotherapy, psychedelic integration. I have so many stories about psychedelics, and I have a lot of people who are eager to share how it is helping them, who want to share their stories. I'm a big proponent of sacred psychedelic medicine and even clinically administered psychedelic therapy like ketamine and psilocybin. I have a lot of insights on that. I'm not going to share them on this podcast or this episode. You'll have to listen to the next one, but we'll have a lot of interesting people to come and share their stories and modalities with you so that you can have guidance and insights. I spent 10 years and scary to say it out loud, but almost 100K in trying to heal. And I'm so thankful that I get to bring all the modalities to you here in this one spot, as well as bring in experts to talk about more to help you on your intentional healing and transformation journey. So you'll also have some solo episodes for me where I'll share tools and practices that you can try right away. And my goal is for every episode just to leave you with insight and action steps so you can start or continue your own journey. I hope you found this introduction to Mind-Body Rewiring insightful and hope it got you excited on what to expect in future episodes. We'll be having conversations with experts in subconscious healing, somatic therapy, and integrative wellness, hopefully some biohacking tools that are out there. I was at this event the other day and it was chiropractic office had this like little scan gun and it could scan you and tell you if your nervous system's off. And I'm just like, where has that been for me the last 20 years? So hopefully we can get little cool stuff like that talked about on the episodes. And I'm also going to help you dive into different modalities, such as hypnotherapy and psychedelic medicine, psychedelic integration. I'm a really big fan of sacred psychedelic medicine used in the way that it was intended, as well as psychedelic assisted therapy like ketamine and psilocybin. I think they're wonderful tools to help with subconscious reprogramming, but all of these tools we mentioned are not the one golden tool. Healing is integrative, transformation is integrative, and hopefully what you learn from these different episodes is what is out there for you, what's available, what to consider might work for you. And I want to leave you with insight and action steps so you can start or continue or revitalize your own rewiring and healing journey. So if you are ready to stop running on your old patterns and start living from your most authentic self, you are in the right place. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel. Please like this episode and download it. And let's rewire together. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.